Right.
Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, Saket.
Good afternoon, ma'am. How are you?
I'm absolutely fine. How have you been doing? It's been a week.
Yes, it's been a week and a pretty hectic week, I would say. But yeah, raring to go now. I think first live session of this week.
Right, first live session of this week, and apart from that we have Diwali coming first. So I guess people are so busy now with the festivities going on everywhere, and of course parallel to that we do have their own preparation going on. So most of them have their exams, intakes coming in. A lot of people have even started getting apprehensive of things, that when will this happen, when do I write my IELTS, when do I take this, when do I take that. And again, those who have already are into the process, they want to know a lot of stuff. So I guess we're going to have a lot of questions again this in today's live. Divyanshi, welcome. Sandra, Shaji, hi. Hello, welcome everyone. How are you all? Let us know, how are you? How is your week? How has been your week like? For us, it has been pretty hectic, just as Saket mentioned right now. So how are you guys? So if you're all here, do communicate with us so that we know how has your week been, and what are you waiting for today's what are your queries for the day. Let us know your queries for the day. Hi everyone. Yes, okay, so I'll share the slide so that we can let people know what are we discussing. Obviously they know that we are discussing part-time jobs, but of course a little more on that.
Yeah, so it's, I think, one of the favorite topics for everyone.
Yes, absolutely, for me as well. Much interested in knowing exactly what work is it like. People talk about all sorts of part-time work, so sometimes like confusing. Do we really have what people say, sort of? So Divyanshi and Sandra, Sashmita, hello. Let us know, what are you all thinking about? What do you all think about part-time jobs in UK and Canada? Are you planning for UK or are you planning for Canada? What are you all planning for? UK, Canada? Okay, I think they're still guessing what are we going to discuss, and I think there's definitely a lag over here. Yeah, yes, Saket. So what are we going to discuss today actually?
Right. So, ma'am, in this session, obviously, there have been a lot of queries on my videos wherein students have been asking me to, kind of speak more about part-time jobs specifically for UK and Canada, because I think right now these are the most popular countries as of now. Like obviously Australia is closed and New Zealand is closed. So UK and Canada gathering a lot of students, I would say, for this intake and for the upcoming intakes as well. So part-time jobs. So I thought, why not actually do a live wherein I can actually answer queries right now, live, rather than keep the guessing game on and make videos. So I thought live was a good option to go ahead with this.
Wonderful. So that absolutely is a great topic, because we already have started, certain questions have started pouring in. Matthew is asking, shall we pay our tuition fee by working part-time in UK with PSW 2 years extension? And okay, we also have queries, a lot of people asking discussion on US. So yes, Saket, when have you, I think you have the next topic now for US.
US, we would be doing a few live sessions soon. So guys, please hold on. But as like I always say, as in US has been a very, I would say, not a very popular country as compared to UK and Canada, especially after the pandemic hit. So even from my personal perspective, I've seen a lot of students who were keen on going to the US. They have switched to Canada entirely. So that is why maybe obviously it's going to pick up again soon, and we'll do a live session on US pretty soon.
Wonderful. So Rupesh, now you know that we'll do very soon, but yes, with some wait, you will have to wait for a little while. But today's discussion is on Canada and UK. So we already have Ashwin is saying Canada, Kapil is saying UK, Then who else, where else, and what else? Of course. So Matthew is asking for UK. Sashmita is asking for Canada. Sparsh wants to plan for Australia. So Sparsh, be here, and you can still know more onto different countries, and then that will give you actually the bandwidth or the capacity to compare your choice with what we have been also mentioning. So maybe that gives you more insight into what you should pick. Should you pick UK? Should you pick Australia or Canada? So all those here live, have you all clicked on the like button, the thumbs up? Have you all clicked on that? So if you haven't clicked on it, please go and click onto it, share it with your friends and families, and of course, especially with your parents, who definitely need to know the ROI that you are going to get while you are studying there, and will you be able to pay your fees, as you have been asking. So not just you, but your parents also need to be here. So share this video today with your parents, and of course subscribe to the channel, those who have not subscribed, so that you get to discuss with us during the live session, because you won't be able to comment if you are not subscribed to the channel. And for those queries, many of you have already are aware that you can connect with Saket by filling up the form, which is already pinned on the chat box. So you can post your queries over there so that you get a personalized feedback there too. Wow. Yes, Saket. So shall we start?
Sure, ma'am, we can.
Right.
So, right.
Yeah.
So in today's session, ma'am, we're going to discuss, like I said, part-time jobs in the UK and Canada. So a lot of queries pouring in whether, students can cover their living expenses or the tuition fee when they study abroad and they work part-time. So in today's session, we're going to talk all about that and more, which includes the average wages and the working hours allowed, things, important things you should keep in mind before you actually start applying for jobs. What are the different ways of job search, which includes both offline and online job search. Some bonus tips and tricks from my experience as an international student. And obviously, we'll take up questions in the
wonderful. So are you all sitting with your pen and pads? If not, do sit with your pen and pad so that you know. I see only 19 people have still given us a thumbs up. Please, guys, everyone all over here, you want your queries to be answered, right? So you need to go and put a click onto the thumbs up that you find there on the YouTube. Subscribe. Okay, yes. So let's go ahead and discuss more onto this average wages and working hours. Yes.
Right. So to start with, obviously, when we talk about part-time jobs, the first thing which comes to mind is the working hours and the average wages. So as per the student visa rules, now both countries have very similar rules, I would say, but they differ in a few aspects. So let's start with the common ones. Both countries allow 20 hours a week during term time. So when you're not when you're not on holiday, when there are no vacations at university, when you're studying, so you can only work 20 hours a week. That's a legally allowed limit. 40 hours if you you can work 40 hours full time during vacations. And I would advise everyone to never work over the legally allowed hours. So I've seen a lot of students asking me that their friends, they work more than 20 hours, or they do not stick to the limit which has been being prescribed by the Canadian High Commission or British High Commission. But guys, I want to tell you one thing. If you get caught, your visa status can be affected. You can be deported from the country, and you may not be able to apply for a further post-study work visa or any visa whatsoever. So some countries also ban you. So I've seen some cases wherein students have overstayed, even for a day, and they got banned for like years. So that is also one thing you should keep in mind. Plus, there are a lot of students who also work cash jobs. So cash jobs is something where you don't get paid into your account. So that's something I would say a lot of students do, but it's not advisable because it's illegal as well. Why? Because maybe you're not getting your salary in the account or something, but if the immigration officials catch you, it could jeopardize your whole future plans, if you understand that. So right. just for the sake of earning a few more bucks during your studying, you can actually kind of ruin your whole future in the country. So just make sure that you're following the legal the regulations and rules in place, which are set by the British High Commission and the Canadian High Commission, and don't work over legally allowed hours. In the UK, moving on to the average wages, in the UK, the average wages range between £7 to £9 an hour. So, which is decent to cover most of your living expenses, depending on where you live. Living in London can be more expensive, but once you move to the smaller cities, then this amount is particularly okay to cover most of your living expenses. In Canada, the wages are between $14 to $18 an hour, which again will vary as per your lifestyle. How do you want to spend? If you're eating out every day, then this money will not be enough. But if you're sticking to a budget, if you're planning well, then I think this is okay to cover much of your living expenses in the country.
Wonderful. So we have a wonderful information from Saket over here. And of course, many of you are already aware that you should not work beyond the stipulated hours or the legal hours allowed to you. You shouldn't work on that. But I want to know how many of you are really willing to stick onto this legally allowed hours. Do you want to be deported to India? Say yes. Or say no. If you don't want to be deported and you want to stay there, you want to continue your journey to the country that you have arrived in, then do type no in the chat box and let us know how sincere you guys are, right? So by the time they all are responding, Saket, I have a question over here, and that is that if when a person, or I would say when a person is deported, is it going to completely affect his further, if he applies further to some other country, will that affect some other his application to other countries as well?
Well, actually, that entirely depends. I think that would be I think as far as I know, the kind of information I have. All these countries, especially the English-speaking ones, these 5 countries, which are like US, UK, Canada, New Zealand, Australia, they share a lot of information. I think they have a group called 5 Nation Passport Group, something like that. I'm not really sure about that. But just to give you an idea, if you get banned from the UK, the European Union can also ban you.
Oh, so that's really a big thing.
I think that applies to UK or maybe US and Canada as well, because I think all these countries, they share a lot of information with each other. So overall, yeah, it may affect your future in any country you maybe wanting to move to at a later stage.
Wow.
It may.
So that is really an information that, guys, that people may say anything to you, but don't get carried away. These are certain things that you have to keep in mind. Amanda, yes, it's already written here, 40 hours of full time during vacations. Of course, during the vacation, you can earn more, but while you already have your classes, you shouldn't go overboard and work more. Okay, Avinash is asking, could you please let me know the living expense in Luton? What do you say? Luton,
yeah. So Avinash, Luton is a town just outside London, not very far off. I think hardly half an hour train ride away. I believe you are going to University of Bedfordshire. I think so, because I think that's the only university in that town. Living expenses, because it's very close to London, but at the same time, it's not that expensive because the rentals are almost half of that of London. Plus, because the town is small, so you kind of save up on your transportation costs. But if you're planning to travel to London for some work or anything like that, the train tickets can be expensive. But if you're looking to travel frequently, I would say get a travel pass to save money. But I think living cost would be extremely low. I would say just 35 to 40% than that of London. So pretty cheap, I think. And plus, you get a lot of good food in Luton as well. So a lot of Indian stores, a lot of sweet shops. I remember when I was in London, I used to go to Luton to get jalebis.
Oh wow! So just you get jalebis there?
Yeah. I still remember the name of the restaurant. It was called Ambala something.
Awesome. This is really awesome. See, guys, so you have already started getting much more information just apart from the average working hours and wages. So now you're aware of the average wages and working hours in UK as well as in Canada. What about the YEG Edmonton job scope as a geriatric nurse? So are
Right.
we going to discuss more?
Right. So I think nursing, I'm not really particular about, particularly, I don't have that much information, the technicality related to geriatric nursing, but nurses in general in Canada are pretty in demand. So you can be rest assured that the job prospect will be there. And especially for nurses and, all the health sciences related professionals, including doctors or paramedics or, psychologist or biomedical scientist, these students, if you have a good what do you say degree and everything is perfect, I think most countries will happily give you a residence option as well, because health people, health sciences people are very much in demand everywhere in the world, especially after COVID-19. So
Wonderful.
anywhere in the world, I think you guys have that great opportunity to kind of settle down.
Box. Okay. So I think people are still discussing and thinking about it. I think there's that, I think the YouTube and our class slight difference over here. So by the time we get response, it takes a couple of seconds for them to respond to us. So first, then we'll go to the next thing that, okay, now we have already started getting in a lot of questions on a part-time, where to work, how to work and all such. So for example, we have a question on what about job availability and living expenses in Cambridge? Will the pay differ working inside and outside London? How about the job opportunity? Will it differ? So a lot of questions on work. So guys, I guess before that, one more important thing is CV, which is different for while you're going to work part-time.
Right. So yeah, so before you start actually looking for part-time jobs, the first thing which you have to do is get your CV tailored. So a lot of students, before you fly abroad, I think that time between when you get your visa and then when you fly, I think use that time to get your CV tailored. So look up online. There's so many websites out there which tell you, okay, this is how the Canadian CV should look like, or this is how the UK CV should look like. So make sure you get your CV tailored according to the requirements of the country, and also keep a room, for further improvements once you land. Once maybe you have to kind of alter it to according to the job you're applying for. So keep that room open. Next up is get a SIN number for Canada, which is social something number. I'm not really sure about that. Just everyone calls it SIN. So you get a SIN number for Canada. Once you land, your college can help you with that. And for UK, you need national insurance number, which is again, it doesn't take a very, very long time. You just need your address. And once you have everything sorted, once you have applied for it and you get the acknowledgement letter, you can start working straight away. Don't have to wait for the card. Next up, highlight your skills. Now, obviously, when you're looking for a part-time job, it may be a part-time job. It may be like working at McDonald's, or maybe working at Starbucks, or working as a fashion store or a supermarket. But one thing is, everyone, the recruitment manager, even if they're hiring you part-time, they look for relevant skills. Obviously, let's say when you're applying to McDonald's, so maybe as per a common mindset, you don't need much skills in McDonald's because it's a menial job, but it's not. You need really good customer service skills. So if you have that, make sure you list it. What kind of, maybe you've done some project at school for someone who's going for UG, for someone who's going for PG, who already has some kind of work experience. Make sure you highlight the skills you've gained over the last few years of your career or whatsoever. So that is very, very important. Next tip is to try and find relevant jobs to the area of your study. So let's say someone who's from an IT background, there are a lot of jobs which involves, IT support services. So that is one job which you can look at. Someone who's studying culinary arts, right? You can look for a kitchen helper sort of position in a restaurant, because you'll be working under a chef directly. It will give you a first-hand experience of working in the kitchen, because once you finish your course, once you become chef, you'll be cooking anyway. So if you get a job which is relevant to your area, it's going to help you. Someone who's going for fashion designing, look for a job in fashion stores like Zara or H&M. It's going to help you with merchandising, how they kind of display their the clothes and everything. It kind of, I can go on and on. So basically find jobs which are relevant to your area. So someone maybe from a BPO industry or a KPO industry, try finding a job in customer service roles in a BPO or something like that. Even those countries have part-time jobs like that. I have seen a couple of friends, who did work as customer service professionals over the call, at leading banks in the UK part-time. So that is also possible. Why you should do that? Because if you have a relevant part-time job as per your study area, it's going to reflect very good on your CV as well once you apply for full-time job. And there are chances sometimes if you work with these kind of stores or maybe banks or anything, after you graduate, they might also offer you a full-time job as well. So who knows? The chances are endless. I know a couple of people who got jobs. There was this friend of mine who was working with a bank in the UK called Santander. It's a Spanish bank, and he was working in a customer service role. And once he graduated from university, he got a personal banker position within the same branch, and that too, really high paid job. So wow, the possibilities are endless. So make sure that you apply something. If you can find a relevant job to the area of your study, then it's really good. And the last thing I would say is start applying at the start of the academic year. So once you land, September is the major intake for every country: Canada, Ireland, UK, both countries if I talk about. Start applying at the start, because that time students are just coming in, and there are a lot of opportunities available, and old students have gone, maybe they've graduated, then the vacancies are there. So there is a higher possibility of getting a job at that time.
Right. So yeah. Hemant is asking, what are the top, because you mentioned IT, is asking top five countries for IT jobs in terms of salary and growth.
Salary and growth, I would say top 5 IT. US is definitely good. Canada is pretty coming up for IT. New Zealand, obviously, Australia, and then I would say Germany as well.
Okay, so that's Hemant, your answer, the answer to your question. Okay, now next step is solving a question. So what information that you have already received and that you're making notes. I have a question, and that is, should you put your date of birth, age, or marital status in your CV? What should you do? Yes or no? Let us know. There are so many people over here. Let us know. So Hale is asking, is there scope in Canada for food technologies? Does freelancing come under part-time jobs in Canada?
Well, yeah, so I think that's a very good question here, freelancing. So this is one major factor which makes Canada a better option, because Canada, you can freelance as well, and that's legally allowed, right? As in, like, it's considered a part-time job or something. In the UK, however, freelancing is basically considered as self-employment. So that applies to a lot of European countries as well. So on a student visa, you cannot be self-employed. So in the UK, yeah. So in the UK, it may create a lot of troubles for you. But I'll give you one way out here, although I'm not allowed to. But a lot of students I know, what they do is they continue freelancing, and they also work part-time jobs, but they don't get their freelance payments into their Canadian or UK British accounts. So act smart, play smart.
Vibed, you have your answer, right? He is actually currently freelancing as a programmer online and would like to continue once he reaches Canada. So now you have given him what you can.
Yeah, you can.
Absolutely. So that was a wonderful question. Guys, if you have something like that, do ask something relevant to the question. And we've just got answer from Kapil and Ritika. Ritika says no, but Kapil says yes. Ramya, I know you all have your questions, but you also need to let us know, because in this question actually is an answer to something that you're going to get onto how you should draft your CV, and should you mention all of these details details, or you should not mention all of these details, because we are also learning that your CV plays a very crucial role before you start applying. You definitely want a part-time job, but then you cannot just land there, go there and see I need a job. You cannot go there and stand in front of the shop and say that I want a job and do hire me. You have to have a proper CV that says talks a lot about your qualities, and hence you get a job over there. So job is not served to you onto your plate just like that. You have to prepare yourself for that. So we went wonderful, got it. So let us know yes or no. So we'll wait for a few more seconds. What kind of part-time business we can do in UK as a student of BBA? Savai saying, hold on. First, let us know what your CV should look like. Should it be A or should it be B?
Yeah. So is it yes or no, guys? Tell us. This is very important. This is very important.
You cannot flunk this question. Come on.
Yeah.
Kapil and Ritika, what about the others? Two smart people we have. What about the others? Are you equally smart as Ritika and Kapil? If you are, let us know. See, you all are not paying attention to the question. You are not paying attention to the instruction. Your first step is listening to the instruction, paying attention to the question. When you don't do that, when you flunk those questions, that's the first thing that tells about your sincerity. Heyman says B, Soham says yes. Be smart, guys. Let us know if you are smart. Savai smart. Abin, yes. Kapil says A. Ritika, no. Now a couple of them. Yes. Vatsal says yes. Sohel Sardar says A. Yeah. Some of them have now started becoming smart, guys. So you don't have to wait for people to tell you something. You have to, that should be inherent. You are applying abroad. You have to have these inherent qualities. Come on. And if you don't have, build them up, guys. Archana says no. Venkat says obviously yes. Anirudh says it depends. Tisha says A. Tushar, yes. And Abhi Singh says, I personally believe we should not include such things. So for me, it's B. Aiden, yes. Shoman, yes. Savai, yes. Ramya, yes. B. Yes, Saket, what do you say?
Right. So I think this is the most common error because we in India, we are used to kind of putting our date of birth, age, or marital status in the CVs. But employers abroad, they consider this as a personal information, and it is not required at the initial stage maybe, but they'll ask you for your date of birth whenever you get selected and stuff like that. But you should not put this on your CV at all. You do not have to put your nationality, your date of birth, your age, your marital status. I think in India we do that. But however, make sure that you put a professional picture of yours. So that is very much, and make sure, I have seen a lot of students on LinkedIn, that is again one common error. A lot of employers would actually check your LinkedIn as well, even if you apply for part-time jobs. Make sure you have a good professional picture on your LinkedIn and everything is, in order. And you have mentioned all your skills and stuff like that. Why? Because it will give a very, very good impression. And don't just make sure you don't have those weird Snapchat pictures on your LinkedIn. I have seen a lot of students doing that.
Absolutely, yes, Saket. I would completely second that. And I really then don't understand whether this is Facebook or LinkedIn, because LinkedIn is a professional platform where people from all over the world see you from a professional perspective. So Abhi, you are absolutely correct that these are the things you should not include on your CV and until you're asked to. So wonderful. That was a great rational answer. Sir, I have done diploma. Hold on, Vishal will come to your question as well. So the next is, so all those who now flung this question, now you know that the correct answer is you cannot write your date of birth, age, and marital state on your CV. See, so many of you said yes. Now you know. So it's important for you to participate. The more you participate, the better your information or your knowledge would be, or you would be well aware rather than just listening to all what we are doing. So if you're here only to listen, then it will not serve the purpose, as you are going to be involved with us over here. So do stay involved. Do let us know a lot more things as we ask you questions. Online job search, Saket. Yes. Now where to search jobs for? So Saket is giving you insight into what and how to search online, because you're all already here. Hi, Brito. I hope your exam went very well and you're here. to get a lot more information on part-time jobs. I know that you really want to know more about it. So first of all, are you guys excited to know how to look for your jobs? If you're excited, type excited in the chat box. Let us see how, again, excited or connected or involved you are in this today's session. Okay, me girl. Okay, first of all, the title, me girl. I just don't know how to actually use LinkedIn. Anirudh, is there any scope of computer science in UK? Obviously, I would say that. Excited, Sohail, Tushar, Abhay. See, I am also looking into you all. Like, I am keeping a watch on you guys. So the way other people keep a watch on your LinkedIn profiles, at how professional it is. I'm also trying to see who over here is really interested in going abroad and really are looking for some great information here. Avinash, fully excited. Abhi, Avkin, Venkat, wonderful. Yes, okay. Shall we give them the information?
Sure, ma'am. So I'll actually want to address that LinkedIn question as well. So me girl, right? So just very simple, straightforward thing here. I think we live in an age of technology. I think you have YouTube. You're attending this webinar, this YouTube live. So just go to YouTube and type how to use LinkedIn. I think you'll have your answer there. And for everyone who's on this YouTube live today, guys, make sure your LinkedIn should be strong, because that's how things function today. I have seen when I graduated, LinkedIn was not very popular, but now over the time I've seen a lot of employers moving entirely to LinkedIn.
Absolutely.
All sites are also kind of suffering because of that. And plus, because you get direct referrals, you never know who you connect with. So
absolutely.
I'll give you an idea here. I got into Leap because of LinkedIn. So
I got into Leap because of LinkedIn, Sakets. Same here.
You have two live examples in front of you. So make your LinkedIn game strong. I think I've covered the second profile here, the second point here, online job search, LinkedIn. Start building your online profile. Just that, don't think that just because you're a bachelor student or something, you don't need LinkedIn now. You'll make it later when you're looking for a full-time job. But if you have LinkedIn now, if you start connecting with relevant people now, you might be able to land a part-time job as well. But at the same time, it's going to help you network with people to get a full-time job at a later stage. So let's say you study for 3 years and then you keep adding people, keep connecting with people. And by adding, I don't mean just random add. If you know someone personally, then just add them randomly. But if you don't know someone, make sure, you type personalized message, say hi, hello, ask them something or anything, tell them that you want to connect with them because you want to know them, how they've done certain things, how they have handled certain projects. So that matters a lot, how you approach. So LinkedIn is
yes. Second.
LinkedIn should be on top of your game actually.
So right now, the best thing you can do today is go and check Saket's profile. You can also go and check my profile. All that I have done so far is thanks to LinkedIn. Not just being at Leap, but all my projects before this. I've done a lot of other projects which may not be there on LinkedIn too, but then they're all thanks to LinkedIn. So you can go and now check our profiles today and find out how to professionally put down your details and how to add your skills over there. Will that be fine, right, Saket?
Yeah, ma'am. Actually, we have a comment here from Abhi. He says that's so true. However, LinkedIn in India has become more like Facebook and Instagram. Unfortunately, yes, that is one point I was actually coming to, but I forgot. Please, guys, don't make it Facebook. It's not Facebook. Don't publish your personal pictures or something. It's not for that. If you feel something is worth sharing, something related to your field of study or whatsoever, that makes more sense, but not your personal pictures. No one is interested to know what you had for lunch, what you had for dinner. If you're going out for a vacation, no one is interested to know that.
Or today you met your father after a long time or your mother after a long time. All that is Facebook stuff, not to be there on platform like LinkedIn, not at all.
Right. And plus don't do it because it kind of affects your whole profile on LinkedIn, and people can see what kind of posts you're liking. And, if the future employers or maybe someone is thinking of hiring you and they see that you're kind of doing Facebook kind of stuff, it might not reflect good on your profile.
Definitely not. And people do that, and Saket, yes, a lot of companies, they go and check all of that, not just your LinkedIn profile, they also go and check your Facebook profile and Twitter accounts in order to understand your overall personality. Sometimes what you present on your CV may not match with what the kind of a person you are otherwise. So they do go and check, they do a reality check with your Facebook profiles and your, especially the first thing is LinkedIn. So make sure that it is completely professional and you are sharing something that is authenticate, related to what you're doing, or anything that is professional. We would call it professional, related to work, or maybe helpful to someone else, but not on a personal level.
Right. There's one more thing actually I want to tell everyone here, that there was a case in the US, like especially because, we're looking at studying abroad thing. So I'm talking from the perspective of organizations abroad, UK or Canada for that matter. So there was a case recently that, some lady, she had posted some hateful comments against a particular section of the society. Her employer checked it and she was fired. Right?
Yes.
So make sure your social media is not hateful. I think a lot of people are using social media for hateful comments. Don't do that, because see, it might not affect the person who you are aiming it at, but it might kind of affect you at a later stage. See, karma comes back. I'm a very big believer in karma, so it might come back. It might come back to you. So make sure that you keep your social media, including your Instagram and Facebook, also free of hate.
Absolutely. So the most important discussion was on LinkedIn. What about the other sites and places where they can search their work online?
Right. So the next up, the first point is career portal. So every company would have certain career sections on their websites. So McDonald's has it, Pizza Hut has it, Tesco is one of the supermarkets in UK, Costco, Walmart in Canada. Then we have Asda and Sainsbury's in the UK again. Cafe chains like Starbucks, Costa, Cafe Nero, Coffee Bean and the Tea Leaf, Tim Hortons. Tim Hortons is basically one of the largest student employers in Canada. So they have around, I don't know, like 3,000 plus. I'm not really sure how many cafes they have, but lot of students work in cafes like these. So they have dedicated career portals. You can do that. To add to it, there is a lot ongoing now, especially, this whole technology thing, because of Zomato and Swiggy we have now, So similarly in Canada, they have DoorDash and some other websites. So if by any chance you have a car or something, you can always kind of opt for, becoming a delivery driver. Also, if you don't have a car, there are a couple of students I know, they deliver via bicycles as well. You can also walk to deliver. So it's pretty, I think, flexible that way. So that is again one of the other career opportunities, and it's pretty simple. You just sign up, you can just start delivering, because they need delivery drivers. And especially, I think during this COVID time, a lot of people are still not comfortable moving out. So they're ordering everything online, like Amazon. Even I do that. I don't really kind of go outside much. So I try and order everything online. So a lot of people are doing that abroad as well because of lockdowns and stuff. So that is again a very good option. Number 3 is your classified sites. So classified sites, as in like in India, we have OLX and there was one more, I don't remember. I think that kind of vanished from the market. Canada has Kijiji. Then we have Gumtree in the UK. You can get really good job opportunities here. Gumtree, you can find around 28 to 30,000 jobs listed on the website, almost, at one given time. And then Facebook Market is also coming up, So if you go to Facebook, make good use of Facebook, you can find jobs in the marketplace. So there is this specific tab on the bottom of your screen. If you press that, and then you kind of put it in the filters that you're looking for a job. So you might find some jobs there. So that is also there. Number 4, we have job sites, which is again the traditional method. Indeed is there, Glassdoor, Seek, Monster, Read, Total Jobs. All these websites also list part-time jobs, but you would have to filter it from the filter section above. Make sure you do that. And last up is a student union website. So student union would have a separate website. So let's say you go to a certain university, their student union would have a separate website. They might have a classified section within their website wherein the jobs on campus or around campus would be available. So you can check that out as well.
Okay, so guys, how many of you were not aware of all of these, or there were few things that you were aware of? So do let us know that what is it that you were aware of. Pizza Hut, McDonald's, everyone is aware of. LinkedIn, I think, but I think classified sites, not everyone knew. I did not know number 3. So number 3 is something that I'm going to put over here. Number 4, a few of them, but not all of them. Number 5, of course, I knew. So out of all the 5, for me, it is number 3, which I really did not know about. So which one of you of these did you not know? How's the scope of Masters of Health Management in Canada? Yes, Ramya will be taking up this question in a little while. Yeah. So we are discussing jobs today, and your next question today is: you can work more than 20 hours per week in Canada if your job is on campus. Is this statement true or false? Let us know, guys. Let me know how smart you are, whether you know about this question or not. We already discussed something in the beginning of the session. So if you're there right from the beginning of the session, you would know this. Avakin girl is asking, is NEET important for medical practical nursing? Yeah, she's in 12th grade. So is NEET compulsory? NEET is, I guess.
Well, I think that's for India. I'm not really sure about that.
It's only for India, Avakin. You don't need when you're require NEET when you're applying abroad. It's for Indian universities. Soham says A, Tisha, A, true. Tushar says false. Suman says no. Ritika says false. Abhay says true. Ramya says yes. Darshan has removed his answer. Abhi says true. Guys, is it true or is it false? You cannot be on two sides of the boat. You have to be very clear. Some of you are in A and some of you are on B. True, no, false, no, false. We're getting all the answers. Saket?
Well, actually, it's true, basically. So so you can work more than 20 hours per week, but here's a catch. The catch is, although it's true, but most universities, when they advertise on-campus jobs, they might limit it to 20 hours only. So if you're really lucky, then you might get to work more than 20 hours. But if otherwise, I think entirely depends on your luck. Because most universities tend to limit it to certain hours every week. But
right.
It is legally allowed to work on campus for more than 20 hours per week if you have a job.
Right. So that was about this question. Let's move on and know more about the part-time jobs. So you know how to search for the jobs. So today itself, I think, I guess you have not, you have taken a screenshot. If you have not taken, you can still go back after the session, go to the point, you can revisit the video, go to the point where we are discussing the job portals, take a screenshot, go and check for all the job portals. How would you do that? If you don't have an account, open an account. If you don't have a LinkedIn account, do open a LinkedIn account today itself. Think wisely, take the weekend's time. You have the next week also coming up. Take some time, understand what you would like to portray yourself as on LinkedIn. How would you want your profile to look like so that it's professional and people who are looking for good candidates around may cross your account. You can share, or you would want to connect with many other people. So go and find some good personalities with whom you would like to connect. And some, I can give you a tip over here. I think, Saket, if correct me if I'm wrong, the universities that they are applying to, the professors and the students studying in those universities, you should definitely connect with them. What do you say, Saket?
Ma'am, I think that's something I was coming to as well. See, guys, if you start LinkedIn right now, so let's say you want to go to a certain university, start connecting with people from certain university, the students who studied in the same course. Not only it's going to give you an added benefit once you land there, because you'll already know a couple of people who are already studying there, but it will also give you an overview of what kind of admission procedure is like. If they're looking for a certain quality in you or whatsoever, so you get the minute details of someone who's already gone through the process.
Right.
Second, one more tip I actually want to add here, which is if you don't know how to kind of make your profile, I would say there are a lot of business leaders on LinkedIn. Like if you can check out Tim Cook from Apple or maybe Sundar Pichai from Google, just look at their profiles, how they have made it. So you can just take the cues from them and those profiles, and then you can shape your profile accordingly. It takes
Absolutely.
time. It takes time, but trust me, LinkedIn is one thing which will work in your favor a lot, and especially
Before,
someone.
yeah,
Yeah. Yes, ma'am. Carry on, please.
no, I was saying that before they before they start applying, they have some time to build their profiles.
Yeah.
So by the time they go there, they will still have something with them which they can showcase to people.
Right. So guys, like there's an open offer I'm putting in front of you. Make your LinkedIn profile and send a request to me. I'll accept it.
Yes, same here.
And
You
I
can
can,
also send a request
yeah,
to
I'm by
both of
myself.
us. Both of us. Yeah.
Right.
So that way you will find yourself your network growing. See? So
Right.
being here on this live session is beneficial, not just that you're getting information, you are getting more contacts along with being with Saket and Manisha. Yeah. Right. So yes, offline job search. So what's the difference and what should be important and how they should do it? Yes, Saket.
Right. So I think that's pretty self-explanatory here. Offline, something which does not involve the internet, because I think when I went to the UK, online was there. I will not say it was not there, but it wasn't uh, as prominent as it is now. So now it's kind of totally exploded, the whole internet industry, be it your job searches or food deliveries or e-commerce. So I think offline job search was the way to go back then, but there are a few really kind of tips or maybe the ways which still work. So number one is your resume Dropbox. So this is only, I think mostly I've seen at supermarkets. So a lot of supermarkets, the big ones, they have a resume Dropbox at the entry or maybe the cashier till, or somewhere kind of near the where all the billing happens. So you can carry your resumes with you and you can put that in the Dropbox. You might get a call from them. Number two, knock the doors. So I have seen a lot of students doing that. So you go to different shops, go to different retail stores, restaurants, you drop your CVs. Uh, I think a lot of people find it little embarrassing as well, because going door to door for job search is something which I think is not considered very good in India. But I have seen foreigners doing it as well. There it's pretty normal. There
Yes.
it's different. You can just go around and ask people. It's fine. If they say no, it's fine. If they say yes, then you're lucky. Like you might get a job then and there. Number three is your networking. So that again, networking can be both offline and online. So I'll tell you one instance here. I knew someone from India already uh, through my professional connections. So when I went to the UK for the first time, that's how I got my part-time job. So I got a part-time job at Domino's, and that was through my senior at school, basically. So she referred me to that job, and she was already working there, and I got the job there as well. So that's how we kind of look for jobs. And networking, that was entirely offline networking. Number four, your flyers and notice boards. So again, you can check out these boards in your institution or supermarkets as well. Supermarkets, they have a classifieds board as well, wherein a lot of people put up some jobs they might have available. Like for example, I have a certain business wherein I need to kind of what do you say uh, kind of require someone to clean the garden or maybe something like that. So they put up these kind of jobs, like 20 hours shift every week, you have to clean the garden, blah blah blah. So maybe that kind of job you can find. You can also find jobs like dog walkers or something like that. That is again a legitimate job. People would need dog walkers because they don't have time to walk their dogs as well. So those kind of jobs you can find. Last is newspapers. Not very popular now, but when you talk about bigger cities, like London, I remember when you travel by tube, you get a newspaper called London Evening Standard. So that's a evening newspaper, which, which is free of cost, and it's scattered all over the tube, the London Metro or London Tube Underground, we call it. That newspaper had so many job listings. Sometimes, you could actually find a part-time job from there as well. So every city would have certain newspaper or anything like that. This is particularly very, I think it works more for bigger cities only. So these are the few points how you can, few things you can, or maybe few, what do you call, strategies you can apply to find an offline job, basically.
Wow.
Yeah.
So if you're already there, those of you who have not been able to do an online search, and if your friends are already there, already reached for the September intake, they haven't availed any job, this is a video you can share along with them as well, so that they can get information on the online job search and the offline job search as well. Of course, you will have to work. There's something that doesn't come to you. Okay, you are here in our country, so we are here to give you a job. That doesn't happen anywhere. It does not even happen in India that you are sitting at your home and somebody calls you and tells you that we have a job for you. It will happen. It will happen because that's how Leap connected with me. One day I just get a call from Leap that would you like to take sessions with us? That was when last year when we just started with LeapScholar IELTS classes, and that will happen. But for that, you have to build your profile, and there will be a time where people will come to you and ask you that, will you work for us? Saket?
Yeah.
Right?
Totally, ma'am. I think, but that's a long way to go because you guys are still students. So I think, but be hopeful that it's going to come soon.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
That's the reason I said there will be time. There will be a time, but that is something for which you'll have to build every step, every step, every skill that you build, everything that you learn. You have to be there. You have to post over there. Let people know. Bang, right? Like you have to roll your drums. See, this is what I've done. This is what I have worked on. This is the skill that I have. This is a new course that I have just completed from Udemy or Coursera or whatever. And you have to tell people there, and slowly and steadily, long way. But then, of course, it's going to happen that people will give you a call and then ask you that we saw your profile, we liked your profile, would you like to work with us? So if you're waiting for them, do go ahead and work on your own self. Yes, but then, of course, as I said, everything. Yes,
right. So one more thing I want to add here is why I'm stressing it again and again, because LinkedIn can be a very good tool for you. I have seen a lot of students benefiting from it.
Yes.
Making a LinkedIn profile is not one thing. You have to be active on it. You have to engage with other person's content. So let's say so-and-so professor or so-and-so person you follow, or someone is in your profile. And if you like something they posted, post a comment on that, hit a like button. That's how other users on LinkedIn will notice you. But LinkedIn does not work like social, Facebook, right? So once you like something, if you share something, if you put a comment on something, more connections will be able to see you. And maybe if they visit your profile, they may like your profile and they might kind of invite you for an interview as well. So that's how LinkedIn basically works.
Yes. And some bonus tips from Saket. Yes. This is something I was waiting for.
Right. So I'll just cover up very quickly. Number one, keep at it and keep applying. See, guys, don't expect, like ma'am said, no one is going to come to you and tell you, okay, ye job le lo. You have to keep at it. Keep applying. Sometimes you might have to apply 50 jobs. Sometimes you might have to apply 80 jobs, 100 jobs as well. But sometimes you might have to just apply 5 jobs and you get 1 out of it. So just be consistent. Do that and just keep at it. Tip 2 is consider on-campus jobs. And for that, the best part is as soon as you land in the country, especially September intakes and the major intakes we have, there is a high chance you can get a job. So just make sure you settle in perfectly, do your research before you land, and just apply straight away once you're at the university. Tip 3 is freelancing. I think I've answered one question, freelancing. So you guys know how to go ahead with freelancing. Tip 4 is make a portfolio. This is something for a creative person, someone who's from arts and design background, fashion background. You can make a portfolio. There are free websites. Behance is there. You can just put everything up there and send a link. It's pretty easy as that. Tip 5 is consider volunteering. So volunteering might be free for like a couple of days or maybe weeks, but if you're performing good, they can also give you a full a part-time paid job as well. So volunteering is again a good option to start with. Tip 6 is go to a job fair at your school and look on your school's website. So your school will also list some part-time jobs available for you. There are job fairs on schools wherein especially student unions, especially when you are new there, they have orientation events. So some societies or some particular restaurants, local restaurants or shops would require some helpers or something. So they might advertise it there. So that's again one tip here. Tip 7, I give it to everyone. Personalize your CV. Don't send it across to everyone. Make sure that the job you're applying for, your CV is actually relevant to that. And if they require cover letter, normally cover letters are not required for part-time jobs, but if they do, then make sure it's personalized as well. Tip 4, make your online presence professional. Like I said, keep your social media free of hate, right? Use LinkedIn as LinkedIn, not as Facebook or Instagram. On Facebook or Instagram, you're allowed to post your own pictures, on your family's pictures. You're allowed to check in, tell the world that you're going to a certain restaurant or a cafe or a night out, but don't do it on LinkedIn. And also keep your Instagram and Facebook free of hate speech. I always stress on that. Tip 9, look for paid internships. So that can be done through the college as well. So every college would have a careers division. They would offer some paid internship opportunities as well. You can try that as well. And number 10, for students with experience, consider looking for a part-time job requiring specialized skill. So I think, ma'am, we had a question here for an MBBS guy. He was like, what part-time job I can do? So this is for you. If you already have an MBBS and you're wanting to go for a healthcare management or leadership program, which I highly don't recommend to someone with MBBS, because I think the eventual upgrade is like going for an MD. But if you still want to go, you can work in a clinic or maybe a hospital, because you already have a MBBS, which is again a very reputed degree. So make sure you look something relevant to your specialized skills. If you have some accounting experience, look for a part-time job in a CA's office.
Right.
Rest all depends on you.
Right. Yes. So that was interesting. So many other tips apart from what we have already understood and what we have already learned on how things to be covered up. So what do you say? Did you really learn and know about something in today's session? Was it really informative? It was if today's session has been informative, yes, Devesh, next question, I'm going to take up yours. Do type informative in the chat boxes and in the chat session so that we know that you did like what we discussed today. And what is your take on today's session? What is your take home? What is your take home? Do write that as well. Yes, Saket, the question from Devesh that is coming up, I think, Australia versus Canada versus UK for mechanical engineering.
Okay, so in the order of the preference, I would say Canada, Australia, and then UK.
Devesh, Canada, Australia, and then the UK for mechanical engineering, right? Okay. So, me girl is asking, is this possible to get job in the qualified fields?
I'm not really sure what she means by that, but qualified fields, I believe you mean that
in what you have studied, I guess so.
Yeah. So, like I said, I think I've already told you that depends on what kind of undergraduate degree you have. If you're going for a master's degree, so let's say you have something in digital marketing, which is again a very coming up field. You can also work as a social media assistant with your university or a college, or maybe some marketing agency outside. If you have a qualification in finance or accounting, you can work at a CA's office, or maybe maybe an accountant's office, maybe a city council office as well, or wherein they require certain finance and accounting skills. Apart from that, I would say if you have some qualification in engineering or something, then you can also be a project assistant at one of the local engineering firms. Depends on but yeah, keep your options open. You cannot always have these kind of jobs, because most students, they only work in certain areas like hospitality, restaurants or cafes or something like that. But if you find something relevant to your field, it's going to add up to your CV anyway. But for that, you have to be patient. It does that, like ma'am said, no one is going to come and give you a job, on a platter. Okay, have it.
Yeah. Yeah. So we have, thank you, Vibit. Thank you, Devesh. Vibit, he's really found the session to be informative. So if you really have found it, then what you need to do, guys, what you need to do, let us know what you need to do. You need to go and click on the thumbs up. Let us know. And also subscribe to the channel and share it with friends, families, and people you know who would like to benefit from this session. And what are the next question? What are the next topics you would like us to make come live on? So do let us know what are the next topics so that Saket and I can be there with you with those topics which you would want us to discuss with you. So today's was on part-time jobs. I think that was really, really interesting. I know we all the time discuss scholarships, and last time we discussed bursaries and grants and all on the finances. So every time we were discussing that how we are giving out. As Robert says, Robert Kiyosaki, he says that you're giving. Now today we are also learning something on what you are taking in, right? So your assets. So today we are also working on how you can earn out of what you have already spent, of course. Do I need to stick to the degree-based jobs I have so as to gain experience? Tushar is asking.
Degree-based jobs, Tushar, mostly, like I said, there would be certain jobs available for degree holders, but they would be very limited. As in, the likelihood of finding these kind of jobs are on LinkedIn. So let's say you'll not find a barista's or maybe a server or a cashier job on LinkedIn, but you'll find, let's say, a part-time business analyst job on LinkedIn. So that will entirely depend how well you use your available resources. So if you're looking for something degree-based but part-time, I think LinkedIn is a way to go. You can try that.
Right. So B-Girl, she was asking for the qualified I think the job. She's also asking, I'm a mechanical engineering and I want to do job in the same field during MS.
Well, I think for mechanical engineering graduates, I think getting a relevant job would be a big challenge because I think you can if you live in a town where manufacturing is there or something like that. So I think the likelihood of getting a job is more, but you can also check out, all these small local businesses wherein mechanical engineers are required. I think I'm not really sure. Maybe something like a repair station, something like that. So maybe you can try that. See, I'm not a mechanical engineering graduate, so I'm not really sure what kind of possibilities will be. But yeah, you can try. But anyway, see, one thing is pretty sure that it's not always possible. Because if you keep waiting, then you may miss out on other opportunities which you might get. So my thing would be, if you get, say, a job, once you land, and keep searching in the meanwhile if you get something relevant to your field. And like I also discussed earlier, you can use LinkedIn. LinkedIn can be a best tool for people like you, because mechanical engineering, obviously, it's a very, very I would say in-demand skill. Especially if US and Canada is something we're talking about. Yeah.
Right. So that was really, really an enjoyable session as well, along with knowing all about the part-time jobs. So thank you, guys. And of course, we have pinned up a form for you all on the chats. So you can see that LeapScholar Connect with Saket right there on the chat section. So if you click on that, there will be a link or through which you can connect with Saket by posting your queries and questions in the form. So Saket will respond to your queries in the coming week or as we go ahead. So if you have any further questions related, like Yashu is saying, is there any scope in sports profession in Canada? So you can post such questions in the form so that we can respond to your questions. Current Vlog is asking that 10th grade marks matter in studying abroad.
Somehow they do, as in like depends on which kind of university you go to. I'll not say that they don't, but they do, because the universities look at your overall profile. So let's say I'm not really sure which level you're applying at. So irrespective of UG or PG, they're going to look at your overall profile. So let's say you have got a really good score in your undergraduate, but you got like 45%, or you just passed on the edge. So obviously a certain university might not take you. So it does depend, but depends on which kind of university you're applying to and what kind of score you have.
Right. So thank you, everyone. This has been a wonderful session. And do post your questions on the link or on the form that we have provided to you on in the chat box. But I think it's still not possible for Tushar to get a link. Tushar, hold on. We'll post a link once again for you. Okay. So we'll post a link. I'll just subscribe and I'll just post because I am right now on a different to help to post that. I'm somewhere else. Just a second.
So guys, key takeaway today is focus on your LinkedIn. Start focusing on your LinkedIn. And like we said, me and Manisha ma'am will be happy to accept your invitation.
Yes,
and,
absolutely.
Yeah, just start networking, and this will be the best decision of your life.
Right. Yeah, so sharing the link, Tushar, hold on, I'll share the link in the chat box. So thank you guys, and we'll see you again with a new topic. You all have given us a lot of topics to prepare our next session on. So they've already told us, Devesh, thank you, how to get full-time job after graduation. Someone is asking about CV writing and cover page. I think Ritika is asking for cover page, how a cover page or a CV should look like, and so on. So Saket, you already have your topics. I think you won't get exhausted if people keep telling you.
One more thing I want to actually address here. Utsav is saying that last time Saket didn't respond to the form. I have received 200 plus queries, and apart from answering these live sessions, I have to do a lot of research to bring those videos and stuff. So guys, it takes time. I am trying to kind of streamline the whole response, which I kind of, I'm able to respond to you. It might take time, but in terms of, I'm also trying to make a video every week, which is going to release every Monday, wherein, I'm going to combine all these questions and answer them in one video on YouTube. So you can also check that. Keep checking that if you have your queries answered there, because all the questions are picked from your queries only. So I'm going to do it every week, because a lot of students have been complaining that I'm not replying, but I'm also, I have two hands and I cannot type, very fast, and it takes time. So just hold on for a few days, and you'll definitely get your responses.
So Utsav, I think now you know what's the status here. So we do want to respond to all your queries, but you just have to have a little more of patience. Can you please tell living expenses, rent, and part-time job scopes around Glasgow? I think that's a question that you've already put in the form.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So Saket, thank you so much. We'll meet again in the next live. Happy festival. I'm going to say that as of now, because I don't know next when we are coming. So happy festivities to you all.
Right. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much, ma'am. Have a good day.
Thank you. Thank you. Saket, wishing you the same.